Suspense. Tonight, Autolite brings you a story of desperation and terror. Another Man's Poison. Starring Mr. Charles Boyer.
I am Claude Bourget. Regardless of what you've read about me in the papers, money means nothing more and nothing less to me than it does to any other man of moderate income. You must realize that. You must know that I only wanted to give my family every comfort and advantage I could. At least I think that's the reason I hesitated several months ago. At least I hope it's the reason. Because there it was. Wouldn't you have looked at it? Wouldn't you have opened it up? A package, wrapped in brown paper and tied with a heavy cord. Wouldn't you have opened it? And then, all I knew was that I had to get home with it. Quickly. Alice!
Claude! What? Claude! What's the matter? What happened?
Look at this. Look at it.
Oh.
There must be thousands of dollars in this bundle. 75, perhaps 100,000.
But where? How?
Oh, I stopped, you know, the way I stop. I stopped for wild flowers for the office. The way I do sometimes. It was there. Must have been there for months.
Call the police.
You can tell it was there for months by the faded bills and... Police? Why the police?
Because it isn't ours. Someone lost it.
I don't know. What if I do? Isn't there money? Let anyone with a good enough story come along, anyone, and they would turn it over to him. They wouldn't be out anything.
Claude, you have to turn it over to the police. How could we explain it?
Well, we'll move away, go to the Pacific coast or something, and...
This is our home. The children have their friends here. Our friends.
Yes, you're right.
It's fine.
Just allow me one thing. Let me protect our interest. Isn't that reasonable? To protect our rights?
How do you mean?
Well, I'll go and see Tom Haskell.
All right. But how can a lawyer help? What for?
You said all right. You said you would let me look after our interest in this.
And then you'll give it to the police.
I'll do the right thing. You know that, Alice. Now, give me a satchel. A small one. When I found that money, I had looked around quickly, like a fugitive. Like I had done something wrong. Why? I don't know. I just know it was more cash than I had ever seen at one time. $98,000 is a lot of money, especially to a man who is 46 years old and hasn't made more than $7,000 a year. A man who screamed and saved like any other man who loves his family. That's why I had to know my rights and responsibilities for my family. Tom Haskell told me it would take 12 months to get the money. 12 months.
Well, Claude, either you keep the money in your possession or turn it over to the police. Either one, but with either one, you have to give an affidavit to the police within 3 days.
And at the end of a year?
The law says it's yours if no one presents valid proof to the contrary.
Hey, mister, who is to say it's valid? Who is to say that the proof is strong enough?
The police, if you turn the whole thing over to them.
Well, don't I have a voice in this? Don't I have any rights?
Oh, it's your choice, Claude.
Now, look, possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's what the book says.
I don't have to give the police the money as long as I tell them. Is that it? Is that what you want me to do?
You're asking me to tell you exactly what you should do. Well, Claude, I can't. Now, both ways are legal. Both ways are right.
What would you do?
If I'd found the money?
Yes, if you had to decide. I'm asking you as a friend. If you had to decide between keeping it or turning it over to the police.
Well, I don't know. No one could know if it's worth the risk. No one but the man who actually had to make such a decision.
If it's worth the risk? What did he mean? What risk? I had a feeling he meant something evil. I didn't want to hear it. He had given me legal advice. That was all I wanted. I didn't want to hear about risks. Men have taken risks for much less. Much less. But I am a believer in law. Doing everything by the law. You learn that in real estate business. That it is best to do everything by the law.
Anything else, Mr. Bourget?
Well, I think that's all, Lieutenant.
Get all of it, Joe?
That one part Mr. Bourget mentioned, the money, I didn't quite get where he was keeping it.
Clarify that, Mr. Bourget?
Just keeping it.
You know what you're letting yourself in for?
Now, look, I came here voluntarily, Lieutenant. I came to the police of my own free will.
Oh, said you didn't.
But you imply things I do not like.
It's not me. I'm sure you're straight because I know you a little, but there are strangers who won't believe you actually found 98,000. There aren't many who do that, but it doesn't take many. Never has.
You attempt to frighten me. Why, I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm trying to protect you.
From nothing. From nothing at all.
This will be in the paper. Every paper in the country.
I expect it to. There is no other way the owner can be found. I want everyone to know.
And everyone will. Every grifter and fast con man. Every boiler room spiel artist.
Now, is there anything illegal in my keeping the money?
No.
Well, then you have my number, Lieutenant, and I'll refer any legitimate claim to you for investigation.
Bourget.
Yes?
98,000 will buy a lot of things. But one of them isn't a new neck.
I hated Lieutenant Gaston. He hadn't done anything to me, but I hated him. He had made me afraid. No, he had made me realize I was afraid. Why do we hate people who make us realize we are afraid? But the months passed and nothing happened. Just torrents of lies and hysterical claims, a few threats. Some I turned over to Gaston. Nothing at all. What?
The phone.
Oh, what time is it?
Almost dawn. Claude, don't answer it. Oh, please, Claude. Who's calling?
Yes?
Mr. Claude Bourget,
Yes?
Kansas City calling. Here's your party.
Kansas City.
Bourget,
Who is this?
that's not important right now.
I won't speak unless you identify yourself.
You don't have to. I'll do the talking. That's better.
Now, if it is about the money, the police investigate all...
Shut up and listen.
Now, I will not be talked to like that.
What was it, dear?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Another one of those fanatics.
Oh, come to bed, Claude. Claude, come to bed.
I'm sorry, sir. Your party was disconnected. Go ahead, please.
I'll make it simple and clear. Until I see you, don't spend any of that money. Don't recognize anybody's claim to it. Don't contact the police. It'll be easier for you. A lot easier if you follow my instructions.
No, listen. Listen. Hey, come back.
What is it? Claude, come to bed.
Nothing, Elise. Nothing. Now, what would you do if you had found something valuable and a crook wanted it? What would you do if a threatening call came in the middle of the night? That's when it is worst. In the middle of the night. If the sun were shining, the voice would not have been so frightening. And then do you know what you do? What I did. I watched each shrub, listened for each car, waited for each sigh of the wind. And as time passed, yes, a month, a whole month, I knew the man was waiting, watching and waiting for the safe time to come to me. I became so tense, I even jumped when the mailman walked into my office abruptly. It's you.
And they keep coming. There must be about 20 letters in this bag.
Any more?
No. Funny, you'd think after all these months there'd be somebody to claim it.
Really? Well, look at these letters. All of them. All the same. Lying, cheating, blackmail. Not one legitimate claim. Not one.
Not even one?
What?
Claude, you've lived here how long? 15 years?
18 years in this community.
That's right. And most people like you. But you know, a few of them get whacked up sometimes. Sometimes they'll let a guy who talks like they do take their silverware. But an honest guy with an accent can't be honest because he has an accent. You know what I mean?
Yes. If he has $98,000.
Especially if he's got $98,000. They say if you were playing straight, somebody would have come along with a legitimate claim.
I have been honest. By the law. Honest by the law.
I know. Only say all these letters. Hundreds of letters.
And I won't read any more of those. Tell them that. See? Into the wastebasket. Tell them!